Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Laura Pence. Before we get started today, make sure you're clicking that subscribe button, right? I want to make sure that you're following this journey along. Each video can stand alone, but it's important if you're looking for this entire year to be one of exploration and change that you listen to all of them. So make sure that you're subscribing, okay? So non-negotiables, right? On Tuesday, I had you identify your non-negotiables, the things that matter to you, the things that if you did not have in your life, if they were absent, it would be felt like throughout your whole body and your whole way of being and living. So what we're going to talk about today, though, is what happens when your non-negotiables become negotiable, okay? So if you identified a few non-negotiables, whether it was 3, 5, or 7, the next part of understanding those is beginning to really think about when or if any of those become negotiable and why. When our non-negotiables become negotiable, it actually means that we are sacrificing parts of ourselves that we need to complete our wholeness. And usually it doesn't turn out well because our non-negotiables are there for a reason, right? They're what grounds us, it's what makes us feel safe, it's what makes us feel connected, whatever non-negotiable you chose. But if it's becoming negotiable for you, if you're putting it sort of on the shelf and saying, okay, well, I might be able to have you a little bit later, there's something that's going on internally for you that is causing you to sacrifice this part of yourself and sacrifice what matters for you to, whether it's show up or for you to be present or for you to engage with other people. And it's important for you to know how that's happening and why that's happening, okay? So in identifying your non-negotiables, I want you to take a look at that list and really ask yourself, are there times that these become negotiable and why? What makes me prioritize other things over these non-negotiables, okay? And then begin to think about what impact is that having on me? How is that affecting me? So for example, I identified earlier that one of my non-negotiables is going to the movies, okay? I love movies. I need them in my life. Otherwise, it impacts me greatly. I become grumpy, irritable, and really like ungrounded and unsteady. I know it might sound silly, but that's what non-negotiables are. It doesn't really matter how they sound, it's how they impact you. If I, however, started to make my non-negotiables of going to the movies negotiable, I would begin to shrink a little bit away from the world. I would feel less grounded, and that would impact my decision making, okay? It would impact the way that I am engaging with the world, okay? So think about that. What non-negotiables have become for you or in the past have been negotiable, and why? And how has that impacted the way that you interact with others or with yourself or the way that you engage with the world? Having an understanding of that is going to help you piece together this big question of who am I? Because you're going to start to identifying things that activate and trigger self-sacrifice, okay? So join us next week. Next week, we're going to start to talk about values and what matters to you and kind of go beyond this idea of non-negotiables. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next week.